Adolfo Vieira versus Wellington Turman. We got minus 275 for Adolfo Vieira and plus 220 the return on Wellington Turman. Now, Adolfo Vieira coming off a successful bout last time around against Dustin Stoltzfus in a fight where he kind of did the unexpected, which was get a victory in the third round of one of his fights. And he showed a lot of discipline in that fight. Let's give him some credit. That entire first round, it seemed like it was a part of their game plan to not even attempt a single takedown in that round so that he could just go out there and feel out the ring a little bit, feel out the cage, and just throw his 1-2s down the middle. He had a leg kick in there, here and there, but more often than not, his go-to move or combination in that first round was that 1-2 down the middle. It seemed like they just kept drilling that into him in the training camp, and he wanted to go out there and showcase it. But as soon as round 2 hit, the guy dove for legs immediately, and he was successful in terms of getting the fight to the ground. However, he was not able to lock up that choke in that second round. Scorecards were all over the place actually in that fight. It was actually 1-1 going into that third round, and luckily for Adolfo Vieira, he was able to secure another takedown in that round and then eventually find a submission to get Dustin Stoltzfus out of there. But that's not anything new for Stoltzfus, right? We even saw it in his last fight against Gerald Meerschaert. Even when he's having success, he still finds his way to get choked out in the third round of a fight, and that's why I'm not putting as much credit on that Stoltzfus win for Adolfo Vieira. If anything, it showed us that he can follow a game plan. But now I want to see him try to follow a game plan against a much better opponent, especially here in another black belt in Wellington Turman. And yes, I know there are levels to black belts. Obviously, Adolfo Vieira is on a completely different level than what Turman brings on the mat. However, this is MMA. Luckily for Wellington Turman, he doesn't have to worry about tying up with Adolfo Vieira on the ground if this fight does find itself there. However, if he does get outside of this first round, which is when Adolfo Vieira is most dangerous, I think he can really make this a fight and really make it, not a plus 220 type of spot for him. I think that those odds are absolutely out of whack for him. Yes, I agree that Vieira should be the slight favorite here because he is the more skilled jiu-jitsu practitioner, and I think he's strong enough to eventually get this fight to the ground. But his productivity is going to drop off tremendously after round 1, in my opinion. Maybe not to the point where he's suck and win like the Anthony Hernandez fight, but I think that Turman is going to force him to work a little bit more, especially compared to what Dustin Stoltzfus was putting on Adolfo Vieira in that fight. Turman, easily the better striker, right? He has a great, some solid power in his hands, good combinations, and even his front kick up the middle to the body. I think that's going to be very important for him in this fight, as he should start to suck the energy dry of Adolfo Vieira as soon as he's able to. From the first minute of this fight, start working the body, start, putting money in the bank so that in the second and third round, you can reap those rewards. I do think that this is a spot where Wellington Turman could find that finish in the third round or win a decision in this fight. I don't get the whole, why everybody's not all of a sudden, why everybody is just engulfed in this Rodolfo Vieira side of things, and betting him all the way back up to minus 275 again. I believe he did open up around minus 300, minus 350, and money has been coming in on Turman, but still, even at minus 275, I think this line is a little bit out of whack. So I like the Wellington Turman side here. Last thing I'll say about him, I know a lot of people are going to be low on him because of the Sam Alvey fight and having as close of a fight as he did there. However, say what you want about Sam Alvey. Yeah, he's not in his greatest form in 2021 or even 2022. But the one thing that seems to hold up and withstand the test of time is his takedown defense and his ability to get back to the feet. And that's the game plan that Turman had, was drag the fight to the ground and try to get your jiu-jitsu going. However, Sam Alvey did a good job in terms of nullifying that. But even with that, Wellington Turman was still able to pull out the victory, even after getting 2 points taken away for consistent eye pokes that he was, hopefully he gets under control when he goes in there and fights Adolfo Vieira this weekend. So, I like Turman. I don't think we'll see him obviously, take the same approach as he did in the Sam Alvey fight. However, I don't think he would, I won't leave it out of the question in terms of if he tries to engage in the jiu-jitsu with Adolfo Vieira the longer this fight goes. In the second and third rounds, that's where I can see him going for the takedown and trying to get the better of Vieira on the ground, especially when Vieira is starting to huff and puff a little bit. I think Turman has the obvious cardio advantage here, and I think he's the better fighter overall as an MMA fighter. But again, I'm giving the slight advantage to Vieira in this spot, given his jiu-jitsu credentials. But At plus 220, I got to take the shot on Wellington Turman in this spot. The odds are way too wide, and he has a damn good chance of winning this fight. He's not Dustin Stoltzfus. We know that guy was a complete bust to begin with. Wellington Turman, he has solid potential, and I do think he has the chops to go out there and pull off this big upset. So my prediction for this is going to be Wellington Turman by decision, which is currently sitting around plus 600 or plus 550 if I'm not mistaken, but he does have a damn good shot of finishing this fight in the third round as well. So you guys know me, I'm that third round prop hunter. I'm going to be looking to sprinkle a little bit on Turman round 3, which we hopefully get plus 1,400, plus 1,200, but I'm sure the bookies will be wise to it, but I'll be keeping my eye out for it. So official prediction for this matchup, I'm going to go Wellington Turman, and I'll pick him to win this fight via decision.